It's a long way to the top. If you want to rock and roll, you want to rock and roll? Riding on the highway, going to a show. Stopping on the byway, playing rock and roll. Getting round, getting stoned, getting beat up, throwing bone, getting high, getting shook. As for your folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's easy to do one night stands. Try being a rock and roll band. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll.
Good evening, race fans. I'm your host, Caden Reif, and welcome to another installment of the 2005 season of the NASCAR Coca-Cola Cup Series, here from round number 20 from Pocono for the Frank's Red Hot 500 at the Tricky Triangle, here as the season continues to roll on along here in Pennsylvania. As we take a look at your starting lineup for tonight's event, Tony Stewart in the 20 car will be starting from pole, and it will be his teammate Mike Bliss to start on the outside in second place. To round out the front row, looking down the rest of the grid, Kyle Busch will be in third place in the 19, and Robbie Gordon will qualify in fourth in the 31. Ricky Hendrick will be starting from P5, the points leader, with Casey Kane in sixth to his outside. Greg Biffle will be in seventh in the 16, and Jimmy Murray will start from eighth place. Kevin Harvick will be starting this race in ninth, and David Green will be starting in 10th. Carl Edwards will be 11th place in the 97, and his teammate Mark Martin will start side-by-side with him in 12th. Kurt Busch will be in 13th place in the 01, and Jeff Gordon will start in 14th. John Andretti will be in 15th place in the 43, and Bobby Labonte from 16th position. 17th goes to Christian Elder and Scott Riggs, the rookie, in 18th. 19th goes to Jeff Burton, and Jack Sprague will be starting in 20th in the 33. Jeremy Mayfield will be in the 21st position, and 22nd goes to Kenny Wallace. 23rd will be Sterling Marlin, and John Wood in 24th. 25th place goes to Casey Atwood, and 26th will be Chad Little. 27th, David Rudiman in the 55 car, and 28th will be Ryan Newman. Looking at the back end of the grid, Todd Bodine will be starting in 29th place, and 30th will go to Matt Kenseth. 31st will be Michael Waltrip in the 00, and Brian Vickers will start in 32nd. 33rd is Dave Blaney in the 77 car, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 34th. Dale Jarrett will be starting in 35th place with Scott Wimmer in 36th. 37th goes to Johnny Sauter, and 38th will be Augie Vidovic in the 37 car. 39th, Ricky Rudd in the 71, and 40th will be Eric Norris in the 51. And the final row will be Mike Skinner in the 1 car, and Jeff Fultz rounds out the field in 42nd place in the 32 machine. We take a trackside here from Pocono for the Frank's Red Hot 500 and the command to start the engines. Engines are fired to life here from Pocono, most famous words in motorsports. Tony Stewart will lead the field to the green flag here from the pole position. Mike Bliss to his outside. As we mentioned, a Joe Gibbs front row lockout here from Pocono as Stewart looks to regain some traction in this title fight. But all that will be answered in a bit as the actual points-paying part of this weekend is about to get underway. Pace car peels off, and we are green here from Pocono for 60 laps here in Pennsylvania. Absolutely no time wasted in being aggressive for Ricky Hendrick, who jumped to the inside 3 wide on the start there, as well as the entire rest of the field getting their elbows out early. As we head into turn number 3 for the first time here today, it will be Tony Stewart from the pole pulling away from the field and leading the opening lap here tonight. Greg Biffle will be in second place at the line as he clears Ricky Hendrick for P2 down the front stretch. Got his teammate Carl Edwards to N2 as Kurt Busch dives underneath to try to take it 3 wide for third place and does. Going for more on Greg Biffle, and he will take away the second position as they round turn 3. Biffle washing way wide. Still side by side for second position as Stewart leads them down towards turn number 2. Biffle gets clear, if only for a moment. Busch will stay underneath. No, Biffle clears him on the outside and off the start. Stewart and Biffle, your top 2. Kurt Busch slots into third. Everything looking under control in the back end of the field as Stewart leads here. Second Pocono race of the season. Earlier in the year came to this racetrack and Kurt Busch was the victor in a Ganassi 1-2. Busch already into third off the start. The inside line prevailed heavily on the race start. Casey Kane, one of the championship contenders, dropped back a ways. He's down just trying to stay in the top 15 at this point. Trying to find an opening to get onto that bottom line as they race through turn 2. Battle for second still ongoing as here is Kurt Busch once again trying to challenge Biffle for the second spot. And he is up and past the 16. Kurt Busch moves into second place. Stewart still out front as they head out of turn 3 and down the front stretch. Biffle now trying to fend off teammate Edwards down into turn number 1. Ricky Hendrick again getting aggressive. Saw a lot of aggressive moves out of the 5 car last time at this racetrack. A lot of bumper usage and a lot of darting and diving, and now taking it 3 wide for what could be the 5th position as they head towards turn 2, side by side with the 2 Childress teammates in the form of Harvick and Gordon, and he gets right past the both of them. Now looking to fight with Edwards for 4th, but will at least bide his time for the moment. Top 5 singles out for now as they head through turn 3. All clean sailing early in the running here. As they single out up front. Kurt Busch still trying to find a way around Stewart for the lead. Looked low off of 1 last time. Tried it again this time, still to no avail. Opens the door for Biffle to maybe make a move here towards turn 2. Into the tunnel turn, Biffle slots back in line and will stick behind Kurt Busch. And back into turn 3 once again. Everybody staying composed as Jeff Burton makes an overtake on Labonte for P number 8. Labonte down to 9th place, still side by side back there for the 10th position. That is Kyle Busch and Mike Bliss fighting for position. Bliss gets clear on the outside and stays in front. A bit of a bumper there by McMurray to try to get around the 19. McMurray, another one of those cars that was very quick in this race earlier in the year. Fighting for second and potentially the lead. Here's Busch trying to fend off Biffle. Goes around the outside. Gets back clear. The 16 opens the door for teammate Edwards as he goes low and makes quick work of Biffle as Carl Edwards moves into third position. Off of turn number 3. Stewart, Busch, Edwards all clear. Biffle stays ahead of Harvick as they head down the front stretch. Jeff Burton gets pulled into this group as he's right behind the 31. Racing down the backstretch and towards turn 2 as the top 3 are still fairly close, but still single file, although Edwards with a big run there into turn 2. Right on the back bumper of Kurt Busch, but Busch is going to be the one who jumps down early. Side by side between him and Tony Stewart for the race lead, looking to be the first lead change of today's race. And he's going to have that pass made. Kurt Busch takes the lead. And caution flag is out. Incident for John Wood in the 6 as we are under caution for the first time today. Get a look back at this one, looking like it might have taken place somewhere around turn 2, maybe turn 3. Definitely going to be turn 3 here. Okay, so, oh no. Big hit there for John Wood into the inside wall. Looking like Dave Blaney was in the wall in the 77 car. We got a bit of a bumper from Dale Jarrett. Just barely swiped him, and Blaney straight into the fence. John Wood thought he might have a lane down to the bottom to try and get past that 77. But ended up getting tagged, trying to get down out of the way as Fultz was down on the bottom, and a hard hit for Wood, who's into the inside wall. And slides all the way into the outside wall again in turn 3. Tough incident for that 6 car. Get an onboard here of Ricky Rudd in the 71. Check this out. Wood just trying to get around him. Ended up having the car down low. So that brings out the first caution of the day as Kurt Busch will lead the field down for pit stops here on lap number 8 coming to lap 9. Whole field going to be coming in to top off on fuel. Pit stops are important at Pocono. We always talk about it. Busch into his pit stall here on lap number 9. We'll see if we see any split pit strategy here. Could be an interesting call. And 2 tires on the 01 car of Kurt Busch. Seeing 4 for plenty others. 2 tires for Stewart as well, who leaves the pits in second place. Seeing 4 for quite a few drivers here. Pretty much everybody. Ryan Newman in the 12 took 2. Drivers on 2 tires here include Busch, Stewart. Let's see here. Skinner as well. 30, the 48, 55, and 12, as well as the 20 and 33. And the 21 on 2 tires as well. Everyone else on 4. We'll take you to intermission here from Pocono after the first caution. 2 leaders on 2 tires. Kurt Busch has the lead here after yellow, number 1. Back from intermission here at Pocono, and your full list of drivers on 2 tires after that pit cycle is going to be both the leaders here. Kurt Busch and Tony Stewart took 2. The 48 car of Jeremy Mayfield on 2 tires, as well as the 30 of Atwood, the 33 of Sprague, 55 of, that would be David Ruderman in the 55 car, the 21 of Green, 12 of Newman, and the 1 of Skinner, all on 2 tires. Most of them up in this front group, but a couple of them a little further down, at least almost all of them in the top 10. And having a mechanical problem here. 37 is going to have a tire down and be forced to pit here. But we will be taking it to the green either way. Vidovic going to have to pit in, but green flag will fly nonetheless. Pace car going to peel off. Coming to lap number 12 here, Kurt Busch leads the field to the green. We're back underway. Stewart wasting no time to jump low and look for the lead into turn number 1. He's gonna stay there for just a moment. Vidovic makes it into his pit stall as they round turn 1. Stewart on the bottom, Busch on the top, side by side for the lead. As he tries to retake P1. And not quite clear yet, but still side by side as they enter turn 3. Ooh, a bit of a bumper. Here's Jeremy Mayfield down low to spoil the party for the 20. He jumps down low. Robbie Gordon trying to take it 3 wide as they leave turn 3. 3 abreast, 3 Chevrolets down the front stretch. Stewart has the lead at the line. Mayfield trying to stay there with the 20. Couldn't quite do it. He sticks back in line now. Little bit of a bumper, but to no avail, although it opens the door for Robbie Gordon, but he couldn't quite find the grip off of turn 1. Stewart's got the lead as they head down the backstretch and towards turn 2. Down the long pond and into the tunnel turn. Stewart v. Gordon for the lead. Mayfield takes away 3rd. It's Busch v. Edwards for 4th. As they head down towards turn number 3, Robbie Gordon with another chance at the lead. He dives it down in there. And the 31 has got the top spot, Robbie Gordon, to first place. Caution flag is out once again as they're wrecking in turn 3. Ryan Vickers and Wimmer in the wall. Kenny Wallace in the 2 car is involved as well. Eric Norris and others, and we are under caution quickly once again, and let's get a look at that one. Hard hits there for Vickers. Ooh. Tough to say exactly what the deal was there. Skinner, man, he held on to that thing. Vickers did not. Let's get an onboard here. Looking like Vickers is trying to get underneath the 1, and Skinner thought he'd have the opportunity to get underneath the 0, and did not quite have the opening since Vickers was coming from Sobar back, and Vickers couldn't keep it out of traffic. It's tagged by the 23 in a tough couple hits there for these guys as the 25 goes into the wall, the 2 as well. Mark Martin involved in it as well. Eric Norris got a small piece of this accident in the 51. Michael Waltrip maybe as well. Back under caution here. Another quick yellow brings yet more pit cycles here. We'll see who elects to pit and if anyone elects to stay out, looking like everybody's coming in yet again. So Robbie Gordon, the race leader here, will lead them down on lap number 15. And drivers heading into their pit stalls here. We'll see what the split strategy is this time. 2 tires at least for a majority. Newman, plenty of drivers only taking 2 tires here, some taking 4. Tony Stewart again on the two-tire strategy in the 20 car. He took left sides that time, and he's going to retake the race lead. Robbie Gordon will be in second, and Kurt Busch down to third. Looking like a lot of two tires here, and not much of a surprise. 4 tires for others. But a lot of switch strategy here, like I said. We'll bring it back to intermission here from Pocono. Tony Stewart takes back the race lead with the quick pit stop there. Lap number 15 is 60, and will be a little bit later when we come back here from the Frank's Red Hot 500. Back from intermission here at Pocono once again as we take a look at the front runners here. Coming up to this restart, Tony Stewart in the 20 will be your race leader. He's got Robbie Gordon in second and Kurt Busch in third behind him. Carl Edwards will start in fourth, and Bobby Labonte will be in the fifth position. Looking at the rest of the top 10, it'll be Hendrick, Burton, Green, Newman, and Andretti. The rest of the top 10 as Stewart primed to lead the field to the restart here will be lap number 18 when we cross the line. John Wood and Scott Wimmer out of this race in 41st and 42nd. Pace car peels off. Stewart leading the field here. Green flag back in the air as they head towards turn number 1 once again. Back up through the gears. Stewart leading over Gordon. Will the 31 jump low? No, it'll be Kurt Busch instead. On the inside into turn number 1, side by side for the second position. Field fans out yet again back there 3 wide. Harvick on the bottom. Drivers trying to make up some ground here with another opportunity knocking. Busch drops a position as Edwards moves up into the third position. Here's Robbie Gordon for the race lead on Tony Stewart once again. A better entry into turn 3 by Stewart that time. They stay side by side. As they round the corner, it's a battle of who can get back to the gas sooner as it's still 20 v 31 down the front stretch. Kurt Busch knocking on the door as well, giving a little bit of draft help to Robbie on the bottom. Robbie sends it all the way in, and he is through into the race lead in P1. Battles for second now as they leave turn 1, as Stewart's on the bottom, or Stewart on the top, Busch on the bottom. Stewart will get clear on the outside. Sterling Marlin joins this group in the 22 car with a solid restart. Jeff Burton as well up on the outside there, under fire from the 22, who moves into 7th. And looking for more on Bobby Labonte. Tightly knit battle here for the final couple spots in the top 5. Bit of damage there on the 68. Looking like something might have happened here with the field so spread out. We'll get a check on this. Not entirely sure if the 68 was damaged before this. Hard to say. No, definitely not. So an incident here. Let's get a look at this with all the fields stacked up here. Ooh, yeah. Into the wall there in turn 3 as the whole field stacked up behind the 71 car of Ricky Rudd. Sauter got pushed into the wall. Kyle Busch got a piece of it. Man, what a save by all these drivers to not wreck any harder than that. We stay green after that incident. That splits the field up pretty significantly, and drivers with damage after that happened in the back end of the field. Back into the lead is Tony Stewart. Made the pass on Robbie Gordon on lap number 20 into turn number 2, it looks like. Yep, made pretty easy work of the 20 car. Still scrounging for position back here. Ricky Hendrick moves into P2. Robbie Gordon trying to fight with him for that spot as they leave turn 3, still side by side. Carl Edwards taking it 3 wide on the bottom into turn 1. Makes quick work of Gordon and Kurt Busch. What a move by the 97. He moves up into 3rd. Couple of young guns knocking on the door of Stewart down the Long Pond stretch and towards turn 2. Edwards now dives underneath Hendrick for 2nd. This 97 is flying right now. He now looks underneath Stewart for the lead off of turn 2. Couldn't quite get the 20. He'll have to settle for 2nd, but Edwards up and into the runner-up position, just past the 1/3 mark of this race. Hendrick not going to go down without a fight, though. He looks low down the front end into turn 1, and Hendrick is going to make that pass back on Edwards for the 2nd spot. Oh, Robbie Gordon got into Carl Edwards there off of turn 1. Edwards saves it. A fantastic save by Edwards to not get turned by the 31 there. Robbie Gordon with the elbows out. And now Edwards immediately turns it into a counterattack of a counterattack on Robbie Gordon. Not Robbie Gordon, Ricky Hendrick. And he takes 2nd place away. Now looking for the lead on Stewart and dives it into turn 3. And Carl Edwards has got the lead now. That 97 looking bad fast on this run, and he takes away the top spot. From nearly getting turned to the lead. 68 of Johnny Sauter came in for repairs that last lap. And he leaves the pit lane now. And another one that will join him, Michael Waltrip, getting some fixes. A lot of drivers with damage after that little incident in turn 3, but again, no caution as everybody kept it straight. Edwards only a single career win in the Cup Series to his name, came at Richmond last year. Has been very consistent this year, 9 top 10s on the season, but Tony Stewart is going to go to the inside here on the front stretch to try to take the lead back. And on the inside, Edwards hanging tight, trying to get the run off the corner, but Stewart, who had to get out of the throttle a little bit, thought he had the move made, but got a little loose. Edwards back past him on the outside, and the 97 gets back clear and has the lead still. Now Ricky Hendrick takes the opportunity with the 20 being a sitting duck on the backstretch there. He goes to the inside, trying to take it all the way to Edwards for the lead. Stewart going to back out with Hendrick boxing him in. And the 5 takes away 2nd place. Edwards with the lead. Tightly knit group now for 3rd as Kurt Busch looks on the inside of Tony Stewart for 3rd place. Couldn't quite stay there off of turn 1. Might have a shot at turn 2. Is going to stay in line for now. That opens the door for Newman to have a bit of a run into. Now looks low, but couldn't quite get there. Staying in line. A little bit of a bumper. Little informative nudge by the 12 of Newman to let that 01 know, hey, I'm there. But could not quite get him out of the way. Now for the lead as Ricky Hendrick dives underneath the 97 and in one foul swoop has the lead. Edwards, a bit rattled by that move, falls all the way back to Kurt Busch in 3rd place. fighting for that P3 spot, but gonna mount a counterattack with a run on the outside in turn 1. Edwards has been pulling a lot of crossovers in that 97. He moves back into second, now trying to take the lead back from Hendrick. Hendrick blocks him a little bit. Edwards didn't quite get to the back bumper to nudge him, but stays right in that line of sight in the rearview mirror, filling up that mirror of the 5. Now down the front stretch. Still everybody in line. Some drivers coming into pit to get some repairs. 32 came in. Here's Stewart for second. Quickly got past the 97 yet again. These guys have been swapping position all day up front. And no counter move by Edwards this time, as Stewart sets his sights on the lead and quickly jumps underneath the 5 of Hendrick. But Hendrick stays strong on the outside and is going to hold on to the lead. Stewart will manage to keep second place. Newman and Busch side by side for the third spot. No, excuse me, fourth. But Newman's going to make it the third spot as he now makes a darting move to the inside of Edwards towards turn 1. Forces him up the racetrack now side by side. Couldn't quite clear him though. Still side by side for third. Biffle has rejoined this conversation up front in 6th position. Down to the bottom, side by side between him and Kurt Busch, and Newman and Edwards still side by side now. Here's Stewart trying to make another move for the lead. Hendrick on the outside. And Stewart on the inside. Greg Biffle going to peel off to pit here. Pit stops taking place on lap number 29. We'll see what the plan is for pit stops as some of these drivers come in. Edwards trying to take it 3 wide for the lead, but couldn't quite do it. Tony Stewart retakes the lead. The 20's back into the top spot. Ahead of the 97 of Edwards and the 5 of Ricky Hendrick. As they stay side by side, though, Hendrick gets clear down the backstretch with the tow from the 20 into turn 2. Ooh, Newman and Robbie Gordon getting close for the 4th spot there. Hendrick with a big run off of turn 2. He dives low, but despite taking the lead, is going to elect to pit here. And in they come on lap number 30. Tony Stewart will stay out, along with Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon, taking lap number 31. These 3, the only ones still on the racetrack as the majority of the field came down that last time. Jeff Gordon fighting with Kurt Busch for the 2nd place on the racetrack right now, and he's got it. Big run by Gordon and Busch down the backstretch here. Tell you what, Stewart might be a little tight on fuel here coming back. Gordon tried to go low, but looking like Stewart's got the hand out the window, and these two are going to bring it into the pit lane, but Stewart was looking very slow on that in-lap. Might not have had quite enough fuel to make it back under full power, but does at least bring it back to the pit lane. And into the pits is the top 3, Stewart, Gordon, and Busch. Now wondering when the rest of these guys will come around. Ricky Hendrick out on top of the group of drivers that came in majority. Him, Biffle, and Edwards fairly close together. Biffle dives it underneath Hendrick, and he gets past that 5 car. This could be for the net lead, we'll see. Biffle, one of the earliest pitters, so he's got the warmer tires right now. Leaving the pit lane as Jeff Gordon leapfrogs the 20 of Stewart. But for the lead, Greg Biffle will take the top spot. Here's Hendrick, Edwards, and Harvick to get past the 24. Jeff Burton may be able to as well, and he does. Stewart dropped off a long way. Jeff Gordon, a pretty good pit stop, all things considered, given that he was at the back end of the top 10 starting that pit cycle. And with how long he stayed out on the older tires, not bad by the 24. So top 5 now goes Biffle, Hendrick, Edwards, Harvick, and Burton. Although Harvick will pass Edwards for the 3rd spot in turn 3. Gordon, Stewart, and Kenseth in a battle for the 6th position down the front stretch. Gordon stays in front of the 17 and 20, although Kenseth will go underneath the 24 now. A couple of separated groups as the top 5 are all in one pack here. Biffle looking very strong today. That 16 has been on the upturn recently. A win at Loudon last week, trying to make it 2 in a row, but Hendrick, another driver who's been very strong, now down to the inside. That's your points leader. And he takes away the lead from Greg Biffle. Roush has had quite a set of race cars in today's race. 16, 97, and 99 have all been up front today. Kenseth has found his way up front late in this thing as well, just past the halfway point. Edwards will take second away from Biffle in the 16 and now sets his sights on Hendrick for the lead. Down into turn 3, Hendrick, Edwards, and Biffle, your top 3. Edwards trying to put the pressure on the 5 of Hendrick. Again, top 5 all by themselves, but the rest of this secondary pack trying to catch up. Another good run by Sprague at these Pocono races. He was fast last time here, if I remember correctly, and now in the top 15. Great run by him today. Bonnie and Gordon side by side for the 7th position. Jeff stays in 8th behind the 18. Kenseth in front of both of them in the 17 car. As Edwards has taken away the race lead from Hendrick in the 5. Biffle trying to make it a Roush 1-2. And off of turn 3, he's clear. 97-16, you're 1-2. As they race down the front stretch. Hendrick tried to spook the 16 there into turn 1, but didn't get the nose underneath, though now maybe has a better exit. Edwards pulls away from the lead. Hendrick has the run. Looks low, didn't quite get there. But that opens the door for Harvick to be a little more opportunistic than the 5. He gets underneath him for 3rd place. Side by side for that 3rd position. Biffle now looking to try to attack Edwards for the 1st spot. Dead heat off of turn 3. 68 car coming in yet again. Those guys who pit sooner due to the damage now having come in early. And Greg Biffle takes the lead away from his teammate as Edwards drops to 2nd place. Stays in front of the 5 and 29 though, but not for long as Hendrick now looks low with the run into turn 2. And Hendrick's going to have 2nd again. Single filed out as Harvick dips in behind Edwards. Kenseth and Stewart trying to find their way back up into this front group. The gap right now is a little over 2 seconds from Burton to 6th place Kenseth. And looking like they don't quite have enough draft as Tony Stewart moves past the 17. Into 6th is the 20. One of the dominant cars of today looking to try and catch back up and make his way back into the fight for the lead. Speaking of, Ricky Hendrick now past Biffle. And he's got the lead. This top spot keeps shifting hands here. Harvick gets past Edwards for P3. Now Edwards fighting with his teammate Burton for the 4th spot. Should stay in front with the draft on the outer line. Burton not giving up on the bottom, though. Still side by side, but now ducks in line with his teammate. Top 2 pull away a little bit. Edwards putting the pressure on Harvick for 3rd. Greg Biffle putting the pressure on Hendrick to try and retake the lead down to the inside now. And with a big dive bomb, that brings everybody else in the top 5 right back into it, but Biffle has got the lead comfortably as Hendrick back right out. 16 has the top spot. And Gordon and Stewart, 2 of the guys on the fresher tires with the later pit stop, are catching back up to this lead pack. A very fast previous lap by both the 24 and the 20. Edwards moves past Hendrick into 3rd. Kevin Harvick hasn't led a lap yet today, but now looks to the inside on Biffle, but ends up backing out. Not quite ready to make that move yet. Biffle holds the lead. Burton drops off of this group a little bit. Stewart and Gordon are catching back up. Still closing in with a lot of draft and a lot of speed with the fresher tires. Kurt Busch, the only other one of this group that was on the fresher stuff, has also moved up into the 8th spot, a little further back off the 24 and 20. Seeing more pit stops now. Waiting to see exactly how long this run is going to be for the race leaders. Biffle should be the first to come in as he short pit pretty much everybody on that last stop. It's going to matter for the leaders. We will see how it goes for them. Everything on the track still good. Now the top 7 in this group could be top 8 or more in a little bit longer. Kurt Busch is pulling the rest of this group closer to the leaders. Harvick trying to hold 2nd over Ricky Hendrick off of turn 1 and does. Biffle looking mighty quick. It was fuel mileage last time out at Pocono. Or at least that was a big question for quite a lot of that race. And now, Greg Biffle will pull into the pit lane on lap number 42. Coming to lap 43, we will see when the last time Biffle was in the pits. It was 29 coming to 60. Or 29 coming to 30, excuse me. 29 of 60. So Biffle comes in. It'll be a 13-14 lap run as Biffle brings it into the pit lane. And Jeff Burton with a bit of damage on the back of that race car. I didn't see that before. Looks like he got it this time. Ooh, yeah, Jeff Gordon in the 24 gave him a big shot. So a bit of contact there. These guys coming in yet again, so Burton in now. Trying to cut it as close as you can. Gordon, Stewart, and Busch are looking the best in terms of strategy. Edwards takes the lead back as Harvick came in. Gordon looking low on Edwards for first. 24 car looking no worse for wear on the front end after the contact with Jeff Burton in turn 1. Gordon gets past the 97. No further takers in the top 10 this time. Jeff Gordon to the lead. Got a toe off the 43 of Andretti in front. Jeff Burton rejoins the pack here. Burton stop a little longer due to the repairs. A really tough break for the 99. After getting ran into by Jeff Gordon there. Just a misjudgment on the 24's part got into him. 24 again looking no worse for wear on the front end as he leads this race now and pulls away from Edwards in turn 2 that time. 97 is looking like he is going to pit here, as well as the 24-20. Kurt Busch will stay out. So Busch looking to try to play the pit stop strategy game here and make it to the end of this thing. Couple drivers that stay out along with him. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is still on the racetrack. And they are the only two that stay out this time. Busch trying to go as long as possible on the pit game here. He pits with 15, coming to 14 to go, trying to stretch it as long as he can. That's about the fuel window, 13 to 14. Busch will come in. No shortage of draft help either for him on that pit stop, as well as Dale Jr. in the 8. The Jr. a lot further back, banking on purely the pit strategy. Busch in contention for the win on pace alone. Waiting to see one of the 16, 24, 20, and others out of the final corner here. Yeah, Jeff Gordon's pit stop not any longer for repairs, so they thought that thing was okay. 4 tires and fuel into the 01 car. You can see Greg Biffle leaving turn 3 now. And comfortably, Greg Biffle will have the lead. Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards duel for what is P7. Matt Kenseth in that group as well. Another not so great pit stop by the 20 of Tony Stewart. Dale Jarrett with a top 10 run up to this point in this race. But Greg Biffle in the 16 will have the race lead inside the final 15 laps, but unlikely that he will make it to the end on fuel. Only a couple of drivers looking like they're going to have the opportunity to make it to the end on gas. And even then, for the 8 and 01, it'll be a tight margin to the end of this race. We'll see what the pit strategy is to the end. Greg Biffle out front. Kevin Harvick is putting the pressure on for the lead. And down to the inside in turn 2 is Harvick. Lap traffic up the road. Brian Vickers in the 25 car, about to go a lap down. Side by side still. Kevin Harvick has the lead at the line over Biffle. Biffle nosing ahead towards turn 1, but on the inside, Harvick trying to get past him. Biffle might have the exit speed here, and he does, and Biffle retakes the lead on the outer line. Now Hendrick with a chance to challenge for second. Little switcheroo on the lines towards turn 2, but he'll stay in line as Biffle gets underneath Vickers here to lap the 25. And that 25 car drops down a lap to the leaders. 68 of Sauter pulls off and into the pit lane for his pit stop. will be the 68's final stop of this race. And the guys that are with damage and at the back end of the field will be making their final pit stops here. 32 can be expected to come off here soon as well. Jeff Gordon getting past the 25 of Vickers. And does with relative ease. Folt's about to get lapped as well. Greg Biffle in the 16 coming around to get him. Top 4, fairly close. Top 3, closer. Biffle gets underneath Foltz, and the 32 car drops down a lap now. Harvick going to have to check up for the 32 here, and turn 1 is going to cost him time to Biffle, the leader. Gets around him there into turn number 2 without too much trouble. Hendrick now underneath the 32 car. Hendrick gets past him, trying to hold on to the race leaders as Kevin Harvick and Greg Biffle pull away from the 5. Biffle trying to make it back to back. Harvick down low. Into turn 2. Down to the inside. Harvick trying to make the pass stick this time. Jeff Gordon underneath the 32 of Foltz now. And he laps the 32 now with clean racetrack once again. Harvick to the lead here. Harvick, a winner just once this season, came at Homestead in a close finish with Jimmy Johnson for that victory. Biffle, a one-time winner this year as well. Hendrick looking to make his 3rd win this season. All coming within the last 6 weeks, including this one, if he were to make it his 3rd of the season. Jeff Gordon joins this group up front. Better tires with the later pit stop. Tony Stewart dropped off a long way in the 12th position. Started this lap in 5th. Let's get a look at what happened here. Oh my! Incident with Kurt Busch. Busch misjudged the gap, didn't quite get far enough underneath the 20, and both those drivers who were in contention for the win, into the wall. Stewart especially lost a lot of time and has significant damage. Kurt Busch with a big group of right side damage as well. He didn't lose nearly as much time. Drops to 7th. Stewart in the 20 with a lot of damage to his race car. That was one of the fastest cars on the track today. And he now is outside of the top 10. That is a tough break. Kurt Busch just couldn't quite judge the gap right and got into the 20. Didn't get low enough. And they both go into the wall pretty hard there in turn 1. So Kurt Busch now on fuel strategy alone, trying to limp this thing to the flag. Definitely not over yet for him. He's looking one of the best on pit strategy in this race. And Biffle in the 16 is going to dive into the pit lane, coming to 5 laps to go. This is where it happens. Biffle into the pits. That leaves just 3. Ricky Hendrick in the 5 has the race lead. Harvick and Gordon trail him. with 5 laps to go here from Pocono. This could turn from fuel mileage into money stop. 37 car blew up. Didn't even notice that amidst all the pit cycles. Looking like he got it back to the pits safely, though smoking on the racetrack. But we're going to stay green here. So Vidovic out of the race. Harvick is going to dive into the pit lane from the lead. Had it for a moment, but he's going to have to pit in. Coming to 4 laps to go. Ricky Hendrick and Jeff Gordon stay on the racetrack. Now it's 2. Kenseth and Edwards into 3rd and 4th. Kurt Busch in prime position with the pit strategy. He sits in P5, but if he's going to have to pit, it'll be a drastic issue. There's damage on the front of Robbie Gordon's car. Ooh, he got that running into the back of Ryan Newman, and now looking like he's going to be down straight line speed with damage to the front of his car. This race just kind of coming apart for a lot of these drivers at the end. Jeff Gordon and Ricky Hendrick. Gordon to the outside, Hendrick into the pit lane, coming to 3 laps to go. Now Jeff Gordon all alone out front. Kenseth and Edwards on the track still as well. 3 to go. Does anybody have enough to make it? Gordon's teammate Rudiman leaves the pits right in front of him. Will give the 24 a chance at the outside, but Gordon not close enough, looking like he's going to have to go low towards 2 instead. And will also benefit from a bit of draft from the 55. Does Gordon have enough, or will he have to pit? Gordon to the inside. He stays on the track to take 2 laps to go. Kenseth and Edwards stay on as well. Nobody else into the pits of the entire top 10. Scott Riggs left the pits there in the 57. Gordon with a comfortable lead. We'll see if he's got enough to make it all the way to the end of this race. Fuel strategy coming up big. Gordon's got to make it one more time if he's going to stay out here into turn 3. Gordon winless on the year. The 24 is going to stay on the racetrack to take the white flag. Everybody else stays on as well. Can the 24 make it? Down the Long Pond stretch for the final time for Jeff Gordon. Gordon was looking for an opportunity to put himself right back into the mix for the title battle. Has come up so close to a win this year so many times. Said at Loudon was one of the better cars, but Biffle just straight up beat us. But this week, on fuel mileage, he's gonna make it happen. Jeff Gordon, for the first time this year, the 24 will see victory lane. He wins it here at Pocono. Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards make it home in 2nd and 3rd. 4th place goes to the 18 of Bobby Labonte. Jamie McMurray makes it another top 5. He finishes in the 5th spot. Ryan Newman 6th. Kurt Busch was looking prime in fuel mileage there, but a lot of other drivers ended up making it to the flag. A nice recovery by the 38 of Casey Kane. He comes home in 9th. So both him and Kurt Busch with great races, with the 5 team not being able to make it to the flag on fuel. Ricky Hendrick comes home in the 18th spot. A tough result for the points leader. And that will do it in just a few moments here, as Brian Vickers will be the last one to cross the line. He comes home in the 38th spot. But that is going to do it here from Pocono, Jeff Gordon takes home the race win on fuel mileage. The 24 car is your winner, his first this year. And no doubt one of the quicker cars on the racetrack regardless, but he takes home the win here today. Pocono, always a wild one on fuel mileage. But he takes it to the flag, your winner here today. And the points battle will grow ever closer with Ricky Hendrick being forced to pit. And Casey Kane with a nice recovery drive, and Kurt Busch finishing well as well, thanks to the fuel. But that'll do it of coverage here from Pocono. Jeff Gordon in the 24, your race winner after a long one here in Pennsylvania. He takes home the win. We'll catch you next time. Race number 21 will be coming to you from Indianapolis, one of the most widely anticipated races of the season for the Brickyard 400. I'm Caden Reif, and we'll catch you then. And as always, have yourself a good one.
It's a long way to the top.